State burial for late President Muhammadu Buhari. Presidency charges African Democratic Congress over obnoxious comments, puts issues in perspective. Former President, Nigerian Bar Association, Joseph Daudu, advocates for creation of electoral court. Clamor for additional states in Southeast geopolitical zone dominates Constitution review public hearing in Enugu. Hello and welcome to the News Desk at 6 and NTA News24. We're reaching you live from Abuja. I am Mina Daniels. Federal government says the latest outburst from the African Democratic Congress, ADC, regarding former President Buhari's state burial is nothing but an opportunistic exercise in manufactured outrage, a laughable tantrum by poorly amalgamated political contraption, desperately clutching at straws for relevance it will never attain. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President, Media and Public Communications, Sunday Diary, says that this is not the first time the ADC, in its pitiful, stuttering attempt at reinvention, has embarrassed itself with hollow, attention-seeking criticisms and press releases. The latest press release alleging that President Tinubu's government is exploiting the passing of former President Muhammadu Buhari for political gains is not only dishonest, but it is an insult to millions of Nigerians who genuinely mourn the loss of a statesman and who watched the state burial accorded Buhari with solemn respect and dignity. He says ADC is the one exploiting Buhari's death for political attention, not this government. They have chosen to dance on his grave for relevance, adding that the government would rather allow its growing list of achievements to speak louder than the noisy irrelevance of groups like the ADC. The statement went ahead to mention some of the achievements of the administration, to include Naira stabilized, exchange rates harmonized, oil production up to 1.7 million barrels per day, FAC allocations increased by over 60%, 31 states once crippled by debt are now paying salaries, pensions, and contractors. Naira decoupled from oil market volatility, regaining resilience. Electricity restored to long-neglected communities, infrastructure delivered, Obia Nembe Road, Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, Sokoto-Badagry Road, and more. Now fund, about 400,000 students benefit from the historic loan scheme. Regional commissions were established to drive balanced development nationwide. Consumer credit scheme launched, a first, laying the foundation for a credit-based economy and attacking corruption at its root. These are no press statements, but are results the statement notes. The Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative has raised concern over what it called unprofessional and misleading report published in a newspaper. A statement by Matilda Johnson, the brand corporate communications manager, describes the article in question as a deviation from the principles of ethical journalism, misrepresentation, and unfounded. The statement reiterates that since its launch, PCNGI has facilitated over $800 million in private and public investments, created more than 100,000 direct and indirect jobs, and significantly accelerated the adoption of cleaner, cheaper energy alternatives. And as a result, over 100,000 CNG vehicles are operational across Nigeria, a five-fold increase in just 1 year. Similarly, the recent landmark development by Dangote Group, featuring 4,000 CNG-powered trucks, 100 virtual pipeline vehicles, and multiple daughter stations, is just one high-profile testament to initiative's impact. Additionally, its partnership with local MSMEs has led to the rise of over 300 conversion centers from just 7 at inception, with an average of 20 new centers opening weekly. The statement decries a situation where the newspaper has chosen to ignore these tangible outcomes and allegedly engages in speculative reporting sponsored by unnamed sources and apparent personal agendas to discredit a laudable government program. PCNGI, the statement said, did not pull down the list of approved conversion centers from its website to conceal information, as the website is undergoing scheduled updates to reflect a larger, more inclusive list of newly approved conversion centers in line with its transparency standards. An advocacy for the establishment of constitutional courts to adjudicate on all electoral matters is underway. A former president of the Nigerian Bar Association, Joseph Daudu SAN, made the advocacy at a forum on his input in addressing the challenges of modern-day Nigeria through constitutional amendment in Abuja. Dele Atumbi of our Judiciary Desk reports.
On electoral reforms, the legal icon who used to be the president of the Nigerian Bar Association, Joseph Daudu SAN, canvasses the need for the establishment of trial constitutional court, intermediate appeal constitutional court, and final constitutional court. The legal practitioner with 45 years post-call experience, Joseph Daudu SAN, posits that the jurisdiction of these courts should be limited to political, pre- and post-election cases, judicial review of administrative action, as well as all cases and appeals arising from the interpretation of the Electoral Act 2022 and similar legislations. Joseph Daudu, a member of the Inner Bar for 30 years, says this arrangement will free the regular courts from political interference and delays arising from the clogging of their dockets with political cases.
The most desirable constitutional amendment would have been to insulate all these courts identified in section 6565A to J totally and comprehensively from any political or electoral related cases. As things stand, it is estimated that across board 75% of judicial time, and I use my own cases as an empirical example, 75% of judicial time is expended by our courts in resolving and adjudicating on civil, criminal, political, and electoral matters relating to politicians and politically exposed persons.
On the creation of additional states, the legal practitioner appeals to Nigerians to tread cautiously and consider the huge financial implications of this act on the nation.
In other cases, states are not created
Participants at the Rule of Law Development Foundation's webinar have the opinion that the process should be used to correct foundational defects in the subsisting chrono. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
In a bold move to deepen infrastructure development and strengthen people-centered governance, Jigawa State Governor Malam Omar Namadi has flagged off the construction of a key road and a modern hospital in Giwa local government area. The initiative, Mohammed Musa Askira reports, is part of his administration's weekly citizen engagement program aimed at inclusive governance and grassroots development.
Governor Umar Namadi has officially launched the construction of the Friji to Dan-Abzin Road, a 29.1 kilometer stretch awarded at the cost of 11.3 billion naira. The road project is expected to boost rural connectivity and enhance economic activities in the area. In addition to the road, the governor also commissioned a befitting hospital in Gwiwa local government area, further demonstrating his administration's commitments to improving healthcare delivery in rural communities. The dual projects were launched ahead of the state's weekly government citizens engagement initiative, a platform introduced to ensure inclusive development by allowing the people to directly shape the state's policy and budget priorities. During the event, which featured public servants highlighting achievements recorded in the last 2 years, community leaders in Gwiwa presented an official document of appreciation to Governor Umar Namadi. The document also outlined new development demands they hope will be captured in the 2026 state budget. Responding, Governor Umar Namadi expressed delight at the positive impacts of his administration's projects on the lives of ordinary citizens. He reaffirmed his government's resolve to pursue projects that directly benefit the people.
This is quite impressive, what we have seen, and you can see the enthusiasm on the people, the way they appreciate. So the essence of this program, I think the program is achieving its objective. We are having an opportunity to tell the people what the federal government under the leadership of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing to the people of Jigawa State. We are also telling the people what the state government is doing to the people of Jigawa State. This has been communicated to the people, and the people are appreciating this.
The governor noted that the All Progressives Congress is gaining deeper roots among the people of Jigawa through responsive leadership and developmental strides, an encouraging sign, according to the stakeholders, for the party's prospects in the 2027 general elections. With this citizens-focused approach, Jigawa State continues to set the pace in participatory governance and rural transformation, keeping hope alive for a more prosperous future. From Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
And the clamor for an additional state in the southeast geopolitical zone resonated at the Constitution Review public hearing, which held in Enugu for Southeast Zone. National Assembly correspondent Mitare Ikben reports that the bill seeking special seats for women also received wide acceptance at the public hearing.
It is very, very necessary to restore the functions of the traditional rulers and give us constitutional roles so that we may do better jobs and engage properly.
When you look at the constitution and the countries across Africa, you will discover that Nigeria is at the last ladder of female political representation in the parliament.
For Nigeria to function, we must criminalize promises that cannot be kept. We put it in our constitution that if you come to lead Nigeria and the constitution says that Nigeria must protect the citizens and the territories of this country, if we have a government that cannot, it means that government has failed constitutionally and can be taken to court. So we want well-defined chapter 2.
The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has challenged the Nigerian Army as key components of the nation's military to continue to work towards building a compact, effective, and emotionally resilient force capable of addressing the contemporary, multifaceted security challenges across the country. General Musa gave the charge in a message to the opening of the 2025 first biannual training for de-inducted troops and other personnel deployed to various theaters of operations held at the 8th Division of the Nigerian Army. Sokoto Dahatu Abdullahi has the report.
The training is expected to cover issues of stress management, post-traumatic stress disorders, and emotional intelligence for the de-inducted troops and personnel serving in the theaters of operations across the country. This training is therefore coming at the right time, not only to provide better management skills for the Army personnel, but to promote their well-being and guarantee operational readiness.
These battlefield challenges, if left unattended to, could not affect just individual performances and well-being, but also unit cohesion, troops morale, and most importantly, post-service reintegration of our troops.
This training will no doubt offer a unique platform for you, the participants, to deepen your understanding of post-traumatic stress disorder, identify early warning signs, and develop coping strategies that strengthen individual and collective performance.
It is hoped that the training will strengthen the capacity of soldiers in the discharge of their constitutional mandate. In Sokoto, Dalhatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
This is the News Desk at 6 on NTA News24. More reports after the break.
The Baffy Furniture Shopping Festival is here from June 15th to August 15th. Enjoy 20%, 30%, up to 50% off on most products. Explore 2025 exclusive collections at discounted prices, plus wedding packages with a free TV stand gift. Plus, free delivery and installation in Abuja, Lagos, Kano, and Enugu. Customize your favorite sets in your preferred color and fabric, from kid-friendly options to our luxurious smart beds. Don't miss out. Shop now at Baffy Furniture.
Thanks for joining us again. From spending 27 years in prison due to his activism against the apartheid regime, to his release in 1990 and becoming the first black president of South Africa from 1994 to 1999 till death took him away in 2013, Joseph Otsen reports that Nelson Mandela's courage, resilience and dignity in the struggle for freedom, elimination of poverty and equity resonates at the 2025 Nelson Mandela Leadership Lecture held in Abuja.
It is in your hands to make our world a better one for all, especially the poor, vulnerable and the marginalized.
The South Africa's Deputy High Commissioner in Nigeria, Linda Mmenele, re-echoes one of the profound words by the global icon Nelson Mandela towards addressing the scourge of poverty, suffering, and deprivation. 12 years after his death, advocates of justice, equity, and development converge to draw lessons from Mandela's philosophies to guide African generational leaders.
His life's mission was not fame, but freedom, was not riches, but righteousness, was not self, but service.
With the theme, it's still in our hands to combat poverty and inequity. Leadership expert Chubuzo Onyema delivers a lecture focusing on the impact of regular migration. He makes a bold claim that curbing illegal migration lies in building an industrial base that will engage young Nigerians and Africans, which leaders and citizens must take responsibility.
To build small community industries within where people live. So you don't have to have young people living Abia State, for instance, to go to Lagos or leave Ekiti to come and work in Ibadan. It is not what can attract a lot of funding at a time. It is small scale yet manufacturing based.
The moral lessons here are for African leaders to remain courageous, dignified, and patriotic to achieve desired progression. In Abuja, Joseph Otsen, NTA News.
The Federal Minister of Health and Social Welfare, in collaboration with Nasarawa State Government, is building capacity for strategic program officers across 10 health agencies in Nasarawa State to boost productivity in the sector in the year 2026. Victoria Kasuwa Odito reports that the workshop is part of the drive to support the development of a 2026 annual operational plan under the Nigerian Health Sector Renewal Investment Program.
Capacity building is aimed at equipping program officers with advanced knowledge and hand-on skills to drive and support the development process with rational, pragmatic, and comprehensive plans that informs health budget for the people in Nasarawa State. The Commissioner for Health, represented by the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Health, Dr. John Damina, says the training will strengthen human resource capacity to support ongoing performance, reviews, and strategic planning across all levels of the health sector.
It is this human capacity that will enable the leaders to be able to drive all the initiatives and reforms that we have in the health sector.
In her presentations, the sector-wide approach tax officer Ada Joshua says the Nigerian health sector renewal investment initiative's goal is to save lives, reduce both physical and financial pain, and produce health for all Nigerians.
For currently, we are implementing the 2025 AOP. So hopefully we are preparing them to develop the 2026 annual operational plan.
Speaking on behalf of the participants, Omame Moses Osiki, a monitoring and evaluation officer from Kiana local government area, says if the 2026 planning is carried out diligently, it will go a long way in improving the health sector in the state. In Lafia, Victoria Kaswa-Ojito, NTA News.
Recognizing the demanding nature of their profession, journalists in the Federal Capital Territory have benefited from a free medical outreach. This vital initiative by the Nigerian Union of Journalists, NUJ FCT Council, in collaboration with Nizamiye Hospital, seeks to bridge existing health gaps among media practitioners. Elizabeth Omori reports that the medical outreach is one of the activities designed to commemorate the 2025 NUJ FCT Council Press Week.
So, I have just been checked.
It's not the usual day at the NUJ FCT Secretariat. The business this time is about health and well-being. Queen Kunde is the editor of ZT Online News and has been practicing journalism for 23 years. She says media practitioners must prioritize their health as they meet deadlines.
You have to spend hours seated at an event covering it, and then you come back trying to either transcribe or write out just about 7 paragraphs or thereabout to ensure that you capture the essence of that event to become news. Quite strenuous.
Medical checks such as eye examination, blood pressure and sugar tests were part of health services made available.
Let us remember that a healthy journalist is a strong advocate for truth. If you're not strong, I doubt if you can go to the field.
Cataract, we actually promised to do that free of charge, and if there is any necessary for other surgeries too, we can handle that.
Health checks are very important, at least the basic ones, because it is when you are detected early. When any ailment is detected early, that is when they can attend to it.
They believe addressing the health needs of journalists require a comprehensive approach, which includes access to affordable and quality health care, the call for improved welfare to reduce economic burden that often contributes to health-related issues. Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
This is the News Desk at 6 on NTA News24. Here is a recap of our top stories. State burial for late President Muhammadu Buhari. Presidency chides African Democratic Congress over obnoxious comments, puts issues in perspective. Former President, Nigerian Bar Association, Joseph Daudu, advocates for creation of electoral court. Clamor for additional states in Southeast geopolitical zone dominate constitutional review public hearing in Enugu.
This is NTA News 24.
Seidu Herb, a non-governmental organization dedicated to promoting sustainable and community development, has released its midterm impact report. The report highlights the organization's progress in implementing its programs and projects, showcasing the positive impact it had on the lives of individuals and communities. Shehu Mohammed Dati reports.
The reaffirmation of our collective commitment to the ideas that inspire the world of City Hub.
Through its innovative approaches and collaborative partnership, City Hub has been working to address some of the most pressing challenges facing communities, including poverty, inequality, and lack of access to education and health care.
So what we really need to do now is to develop a next step for this particular document, to develop how it will be disseminated to all the policy makers, the politicians, even all the technical officers that are working either at the privates as well as public.
So this approach ensures that our work is not only strategic, but also deeply connected to the voices and priorities of the communities that we serve.
The midterm impact report provides a comprehensive overview of the organization's achievements, challenges, and lessons learned, offering insights into its future plans and strategies.
We need to do more. We need to work with the grassroots. We need to work with the underrepresented to understand, what does gender equality mean? What does empowerment mean? How do we ensure that we are able to improve our health indices as a nation, as a community, and all of that?
Joining the presentation via Zoom, the founder and chief executive of City Hub gave a call to action after 3 years of impact on the project.
Is to remind us that reaching underserved communities and those who are marginalized, within the periphery shouldn't be, a secondary agenda. It should be something that we prioritize as a people, as a government, and as a civil society. So you could see why we are interested in making sure that we address things from the base, from the roots.
Forging ahead, City Hub is craving government's nod on areas of operation and plans to reach out to the 6 geopolitical zones of the nation. In Abuja, Shehu Mohammed Dati, NTA News.
And that concludes the news desk at 6 and NTA News 24. Many thanks for your company. I am Nina Daniels.